Yeah, you can do whatever you want while I eat my little donut that you.
Is that better?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, everyone.
That's fantastic.
To get started. I thought that Thursday went really well for everyone, and unfortunately Lori had their basement flooded, and so I got when I checked email this morning, her email actually came through at 12:19 a.m. this morning, and they were desperately trying to get water out of the basement. So she will not be here this afternoon to do splice with us, so we'll do that one day next week. But I thought we would take that time to debrief a little bit, because after going through the plans, after you guys made notes on Thursday with the principals, I just have some questions just for clarity, so we'll just kind of go through those. And then we have received plans since then too, so we'll return those so that you can get in touch with your principal and follow up with our notes from the plans that we evaluated yesterday. But it's really exciting, guys. We're getting so close, and starting to see things being ordered and schools getting ready to implement these things. So I'm just really encouraged, and I hope that you are too, what a difference this program is going to make for our schools. So today our schedule is, we're going to start with Allison just doing, and I really appreciate you doing this, Allison, because I was a Microsoft girl, and so I really appreciate that you're going to walk us through some Google Docs, and then Kevin, I'm not sure I pronounced his last name.
Surgeoner.
Okay.
Yeah. Almost like surgeon, but not quite.
Surgeoner. Okay.
He's a surgeoner.
Yeah.
You don't operate on your computer at home.
Okay, that's a good way to remember his name, operating on the computer. He will be here in just a little while, and he's going to do the Google Drive and Google Sheets and everything else.
Google Drive is what we're going to focus on.
Okay.
Google Drive.
So he and John are going to work with us on that. And then we'll have lunch, and then we're going to do our Maui webinar. So I'm excited about that too, Sarah. And then instead of splice, we'll work on our plans, okay? All right, so Miss Allison, we're all yours.
Well, and I will say, I was always, as an English teacher, I was always a Microsoft Office person, and I fought against going to Google Docs with everything I had until I did, because it's just a change is scary.
I know.
And then I went to a school where they had a one-to-one Chromebook initiative, and so everything was Google. And so with the Chromebooks, you don't have Microsoft Office, so everybody had to figure out how to do Google. And so, I know we were talking earlier about Google Classroom. It's really user-friendly, and it's really easy if people pick that up. As Sarah and I were talking about how it's different from Canvas, but does a lot of the same things. And Canvas, we really had to go through some pretty intense training on some stuff, and I still can't remember everything. In Google Classroom, you can kind of just get through there and figure it out. It really is pretty much that easy, and a lot of the stuff goes across Google, I guess, to where there's commonalities in all the different programs. And so I'm sure Mr. Surgeoner will show you all that. But I know I saw you were on, if you're on Google Drive, there's two different ways, like you can open a new document. And like I've heard people call this thing, they call it the waffle. Is that what y'all? That's so weird to me, whatever. The Rubik's Cube, whatever it is. But you can either, and I'm going to tell you everything I know, okay? You can either go that way, Linda, to go to Google Docs and open a new document, or you can start out on Drive, either way. If you're on Drive, you can go up here to New and access Google Docs that way. And if you just click on it, it's going to give you a new thing. You can go over there. They have templates and everything, just like Office, Microsoft Office. But if you go over there and click on a blank document, and you look over the top, almost everything up here, they've set it up just like Microsoft Office. So once you get on there, that part of, going through and changing fonts, changing colors, all of that's the same. Double spacing, all of it's just like Microsoft Office. Formatting, inserting things, all of that's pretty easy. on the ones where the templates, once you're on Google Docs, they have tons of different templates you can use, open up to use if you want to use something like that. I'll admit I've never used a template for anything. So that part's pretty easy. And then I'm going to show you guys, just totally ignore what this thing says. I pulled a weird discussion off, so it's just words on a page, okay, for all we care about. So what I'm going to show you is this is what's different from Microsoft Word besides just the document. If you go up there in the corner where the share is, I shared this with myself last night from my Milligan account. And I'm going to real quick just put this in. This is what's different is I can go through and share this with you guys. And let me see who all's here. Pam. I should put my reading glasses on, but I'm embarrassed that my eyes have gone bad because I finally have gotten that old, I guess. Tell me your name again. I forgot it. Stella. Stella. I'll remember it now because I just did that.
That's okay.
Was that everybody? Did I get everybody? Okay. That cares? Okay. All right. So I've gone through and added names that I'm going to share this document with. This is where there's a couple important things, okay? When I first used this in my classroom and I loaded things to Google Classroom, I didn't realize that this over here is very important. If I share this with you guys can go through and edit anything on that paper. So it becomes kind of all of our document. And so we can go in like in real time, and so it's kind of cool. But you can have, I teach high school. I have kids writing totally inappropriate things going, and before you can stop it, whatever. And, but, so there's other options. You can either put can comment, and that way, like if you have a question about something, I would get my students to share things where I could comment. And that way, I would say that way, I'm not erasing your paper and just giving you bad grades. I'm not messing with your document. So that means people you share it with, they can't change it. Same thing with can view, but on that one you can't make comments on, and I'll show you how to make comments in a second, it's easy. But, so that was important, and I'm going to put it on can edit just so y'all can have something to mess with. Another important thing is, to me, on the advanced you see where it is down there at the bottom? Oh, you're not even on there, get on there, girl. Oh, you can't see this anyway. Where it was me sharing it with you, you can't see this. So I apologize. And I totally may have just erased everybody. I just did. I totally did, didn't I? Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to do it again. Hold on, let me go back. I tried to back out where I could show you something. I'll try to go fast. I may take an hour now that I've done this. Sorry.
Oh, it's good for us to see you do it. Yeah, it is. Over and over. Back through the process.
Stella. I'm going to do that. In your name, Stella, your name's always going to be that way in my head where I'm going, Stella.
That's okay.
Sorry. 2, 4. I'm leaving somebody out, but I don't know who it is. Oh well. Down here where it says advanced, this is one that, like I said, this part was important to me. See where it says notify people, add message? This is just something so small and dumb. But when I have my students write essays in Google Docs and they share it with me, if I don't get them to go click on the advanced, I have 85 emails telling me that they have shared their shared paper with me. And so it just fills up your inbox. And so I would always go over this quite frequently with my students. Go down where it says notify people, add message, and you just have to unclick the box. So that's just something that I think a lot of people appreciate, especially if but it is nice, I guess, if you don't know something's coming. When I know that all my students are turning in papers, I know their papers are coming. I don't need to be notified. But otherwise, I guess it would be a good thing to be on there. Yes, I'm going to skip sending invitations. That just means you're not going to get emails. So all of you should have this weird document now. And let's see. An easy way to find this is if you go back up to the waffle and go to Google Drive. If you click on Shared with Me, that's probably one of the easiest ways to find something. Did that show up? Google Drive, yes ma'am. And then on the column on this side where it says, so I'm going into teacher mode where I'm moving around the room.
Shared with me.
Yes ma'am. There it is where it says today. It's just that document down here.
Okay. Oh, right here. Okay.
Perfect.
What's its name now?
Practice.
Practice, so it's right there. There it is, yeah. Yeah. I guess those things that are recently shared with you or something. I don't know.
You can do it that way and just go over and hit Google Docs and it'll open it with Google Docs. And a good thing, if you have things that are Word documents and stuff that you need, I'll show you how to upload Word documents because you can put other documents on here. All right. Your computer is being crazy.
It is. I'm going to have to.
Yep. It's always the first one to do.
So where I hit edit, like if you guys click on, you can mess with this. This is something that just doesn't even matter. That's why I did it. So if you click on it, like you can see, everybody will see like everybody's names on it. And I have kids like getting on here because, like if they, like, there's Stella, there's Pam. You can see people's names pop up and see what they're doing at the time. So in real time, you can see that going on. This has been handy at Milligan when I've been writing group papers and we're all working on the exact same document at the same time. So that's nice. And so you're not having to go back and whatever. Now, to make comments on things, there's a couple different ways you can do this. There's a little comment box right there. And so I can either, wherever my cursor is, if I go up here and make a comment, it's going to, oh, this is funny, how scary. I asked the principal. Oh, y'all are talking about, oh, I was like, what are you talking about? What's scary? I forgot I totally forgot what this was about. I didn't even pay attention. It was scary. I'm going to throw that out there. Yeah, and who lets, well, I guess lots of people do this. To save money, they were letting trustees clean up trash in a school that never had a lockdown place, and a guy made a break for it. And I was in a special ed class, and and it was lunchtime, and everybody knows you don't do drills during lunchtime. Yeah. And it was 5 minutes before the bell rang. All of a sudden, we went on lockdown. I think I was the only one that even understood what you were supposed to do. It was really a scary day. But you can go through and make comments. I go through and make comments about you're missing something here. You need to go back and look right here to my high school students, and they'll go back and correct things, and they can click where it's resolved. Lots of times they'll just click resolve, but it's not resolved. It's a trick.
Did you use the lesson? Well, Vicky and I had a class that had a lot of ADHD and ADD children, and their parents wanted evidence of that to show the doctor. And that's where it says the all changes saved in.
Oh yeah, I was gonna the history.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, it is.
How long is that on the document?
Well, and yes, you can tell. I'll show you that in a second, and that is a lifesaver. I had a 10-page paper yesterday, and I was sort of cutting and pasting from a paper that I wrote a while ago that I was going to need, that I could use some of the information, so I was putting it over. I'm not going to lie. And I don't know what I had done. It must have been getting late one night. Somehow I cut and pasted the same paragraph, and it was like showing up over and over in my paper. And I went, what have I done? You know, when I open it in the morning, I'm like, what? And this is a nice thing. If you go up to where it says all changes saved, and I was even going to pull up my paper just to embarrass myself. But you could see where I had actually saved a paper from back in February. This is very, very helpful because you can go back to original versions. You can go back to a version 5 minutes ago. You can go back to, that's fantastic. When I was helping at Fairmont, they asked me to do attendance logs. They wanted to figure out a way where everybody could just digitally add in, and so I made a Google Docs form and just put all the dates in and just created a grid and teachers are terrible at following directions, but I said just put an X if somebody's not here. And I had check marks all over the place, and I didn't. They weren't used to using Google Docs, and so some of them didn't put it in, and then some of them go, I don't know what I did to it, and thank goodness I could go back to these different dates and restore them because they got so jacked up. It was crazy, and it was just like note to self. And speaking of that, so you can go back and check that. That's kind of cool. Another cool thing is if I tell my students to do this all the time. If you go up to File where it says Make a Copy, I can make a duplicate of this, copy of practice. And this is what I did with a lot of my students when I would share it with them and wouldn't let them edit. I'd say, just make a copy of it, and then you can do whatever you want on your copy. And so they would end up changing, like where it says copy of practice, I would tell them, put your name in there and put practice. But that's a nice feature. What else was I going to tell you? I have a list on my phone, and I have a video of things so the editing history. Oh, another thing that's nice that I used a lot, editing mode, suggesting mode, and viewing mode. If you go up there where that is, the suggesting mode, I can go in and say, all right, I can go through and type things in and put in commas. I can go in and put in, and it's not actually changing the paper. So everything that I just typed that's in these brackets right here, that's just me making suggestions. You need to go back and look at this. There's something wrong. You've left something out. You need more evidence here, especially with kids who maybe need a little more guidance. Right. And so I can go through and literally put in punctuation or change the punctuation. Yours should look like this. And they can go in and click on it and fix it. So, lots of times we are, and it's been very nice. The library was across the hall from me, and so I would go use the library lab as my personal room sometimes. And it was nice that I would roll around the room, and I would automatically have them share them with me at the beginning, so I can watch them typing, and so I can see if somebody's messing around, and I will type a little comment on there and go, I just want you to know I'm sitting here watching what you're doing. And they're just like, and no, it's totally Big Brother. But I would start pulling up all their papers, and it was a nice way for me to kind of sit down and make little comments, and they loved it, that they would see things instantly and go, oh, thanks, but they love actually seeing people pop up. And
did you just, on your screen, you could just see one at a time?
Yes, ma'am. Because I would have them.
Click on somebody.
Yes, ma'am.
And you'd see what they were writing.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
One thing that I was going to add, if you're using Google Classroom
Mm-hmm.
and if you add that document onto the assignment, it is so much easier to do that, to go in, because
Yes.
they're all
They
right
open.
there.
Yes.
I was having them share it to my email, but then everything got so unorganized and
Right.
chaotic. So if you're using Google Classroom, that's a really easy way. You can just open up that assignment and then you have your entire list of all of your students.
That's true. That's complete, because it keeps it all right there. I get mine once they start sending them to me, I put them all in a classroom folder just to keep them, so I don't have just 100 documents open. I try to do that. I'll put it that way.
Then while you're in the class, is it just as easy as clicking on the things up at the top?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what, right now I have 2 of them open. I'll end up having a slew kind of open, and and just clicking over to Drive and looking for names and pop them in there. So.
Allison, did you do the green where you were using the suggesting mode? Is that easier in your opinion? Because when I was playing around with it in the classroom several years ago, we did a lot of the document boxes. That took a long time for me. So is just putting it in green
It is.
easier to edit?
It is.
Kids writing?
It is.
Okay.
It is, but just lots of times I don't want to tell them specifically what they need to fix. I just need to say, you need to look back at this area. Especially with high school kids, I don't want to go put commas in. They need to figure out what's wrong. And I will say this, and this is just this is a personal thing, but this probably is pretty common. I have realized that even though I can go back and make comments, I mean, that is a great tool. Lots of times if I'm really grading something, I end up printing out the final copy. And it's just because I see things a lot more clearly. Even when I'm writing stuff, I've realized that I catch a lot more when I go ahead and print it out and read it. So this is good. And it's, in the comments, they can make comments back. They can ask questions.
It's good for instant feedback.
It truly is.
I would have enjoyed having that with my sixth graders.
Well, and like doing it, like, I guess, is the reading writing workshop kind of thing. This really comes in handy. Yeah, so that's.
It just took so long to give them feedback.
Right.
When you're trying to grade, 70 or so.
Right.
I know some of you had a lot more than that at one time, but it just took so long to give them back that feedback, and conferencing with them, that took time as well. But this, man, it would have been a game changer.
Right.
I
And
loved it.
right. It really is. I don't even use Microsoft Word anymore, and I would very anti until I started using this, and now I'm like, y'all are crazy. Why are you saving things on your computer? And that's another thing. John said, oh, you can hook your computer up. And I said, well, yours is already hooked up. I'll just use yours. I can log on anywhere. And when I moved to Middle Tennessee, my husband kept taking different jobs, and I had to move schools. I went somewhere, and the computer ate my flash drive, and I lost 10 years of my life. And so now everything's on Google Drive, and that'll never happen to me again. Unless there's like an apocalyptic Google crash or something.
We always, a program that's similar to this is Turnitin.com, but it will also check for plagiarism.
Right.
Is there a way to do that?
Yes, you can turn these. In fact, on Canvas, I've many times have had to turn my Google Docs in, and they go through Turnitin.com and check. So, and you can. I'm going to go back to Google Drive real quick. And the other thing that's easy, where it says new up here, and file upload, folder upload, I can upload, and I know I'm going in on your Drive territory, but just to show you, I'm sure I have some things on here. I don't have anything weird on here.
Remember, you're looking at my computer.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. I was going to say, none of this looks familiar. I want them. Never mind. You can go into Word. Forgot. I was thinking, where's all my Milligan stuff? It's gone.
No, it's not gone.
Okay, anyway. I forgot already. It's morning. But you can go in and upload Word documents. And then it'll say, do you want to open it in Google Docs? And so it'll turn it into a Google Doc. And so any Word document you have, you can open them up. And you can make PDFs and stuff like that with them. And this, it's funny just how things you don't know, because like Sarah and I were talking earlier, things just change so much. A feature that I have not used is down here, this Explore button. And it just opens up a window to where I can search things I've already written, which would have been helpful when I was writing that 10-page paper yesterday. But you can also, it's kind of just opens a window right next door to it. And so if you need to look up a word or to look up something, a picture that you want to put in, so you can keep. There's no matching documents for dog. But if I go to the web, I'm sure there is. There's a little icon down at the bottom. If you kind of just hover down there, it should pop up. Oh, look in the very, very corner. See that little? Yes, ma'am. And so that just opens up a window. And I guess I have not paid attention. I learned that when I watched a 7-minute video. There's other things. There's other things you can do where you can go up here and change, edit to copy. But in my world, it's just easier for me to go hit make a copy and whatever. So, there's lots of other little tricks, but it's probably pointless to tell you. That's probably enough. You don't want to. There's so much. Sometimes you get so bombarded with information that sometimes. Do you have any questions? Let me show you anything else.
How many schools do you happen to know if the schools you're in use Google Classroom?
I met with somebody yesterday, and they were total Google Classroom.
Is that something we should get so that you can work with the teacher?
free. I mean, you just go get on Google Class. Yeah.
Is that something we should do?
It's already part of your account.
Yeah.
Oh, Google Classroom.
It's
Yes.
John, okay, John, so you can tell me there's like some tutorials
Yes.
that you can do. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's there
Okay.
already with your account.
And you can create like a fake classroom and just go in there and play and figure out.
Where is it? Like,
Go up, go up to the waffle.
Go to the waffle.
I didn't see it on the wall.
The waffle is our home.
Now, you have to go maybe more,
Oh, gotcha.
see what's up there.
I don't see the app on this one. Well, if you just Google Google Classroom, Google Classroom.
Yeah.
Because I have it online.
Yeah.
It's classroom.google.com.
Yeah, I need help with Google Forms. That's the one that I'm. If you just Google Google Classroom.
If you've already got it enabled, it should be there, but you can add it to your waffle if it's not already in your waffle. No worries, we
So we can add it to the waffle?
Yes.
Tool.
Yeah, if you go to Google Classroom and then click the waffle, it should have a button that says.
I was gonna say once you've gone there, it should.
Yes.
Okay.
It should give you a button. You may actually have to get into it first.
And you know, it says that we can't use them with these Niswonger accounts in Google Classroom.
Wonder why.
It's not
They're business
school
accounts is what they
account.
are. They're not EDU accounts.
Well, if you still have your, well, I could log in under my science. I'm sure, Mary, now if you still have your Johnson City account, you could log on there. I was gonna say,
For now, I keep thinking it's gonna disappear any day, but I still have it.
technically you're a Johnson City employee all year, so it shouldn't. That's what they told me.
I'm not.
Oh, so technically, I thought you were still like.
Yeah, but I do still have my account.
Google that for it. Are you gonna? Do
We're
we?
gonna try to.
Okay.
So we don't need that.
I think he's gonna put it into all of them. He has like.
I didn't think about that.
Business.
That's good.
Yeah, I emailed the tech guy and asked him what's leaking.
Yeah, I made sure they weren't.
Everything on there.
Oh, me too.
On Google Classroom, I've been using it for like, I don't know how.
Oh, and that's nice. Yeah, Google Classroom, you can just roll everything over to the next year,
And
like
so
the
I
whole.
just click here's an assignment from 2015 or whatever.
Linda, is there anything else I can show you?
Just reuse and edit those.
I think that was great. I really appreciate that.
But that's exactly it, and that's what. I have a video, but there's. You're welcome. Should I pass this torch to? I don't know how you tightened it. Oh, it's in the back.
Yes.
But it's not covered under business.
I did. Thank you. Well, and every time I go, they want to straighten it, which is fine. But in the summer, well, in the summer, there's no point in straightening it. It'll be like this big by the end of the day.
I have.
No, thank
I mean,
you.
it's fast. I'll call them, chat with them. I'll ask them.
Okay, I guess that's recording our conversation.
Edit that part
All right.
out.
Yeah, we will.
Let's do this. Go ahead and grab that.
It's a little mic for the
Oh, okay.
swivel, so because we're video recording.